What's going on, everybody? Patrick Auger, Matthew Wells, Drake Riggs here. And today we're going to talk about what's next for Kamaru Usman. The man has gone through 4 of the top 5 welterweights right now, based on the UFC rankings. Has been just dominant. I mean, his win over Gilbert Burns at UFC 258 was just magnificent, right? I mean, he came back from adversity, ate a big shot, and then from that, just, dominated it from there on out. Who does he fight next? That's the big question, is who is next for Kamaru Usman? So, Matt, I'm going to throw this to you first. Who do you think Usman should fight next and why?
Well, the person I want him to fight is different than the person who he should fight. I think he should fight Stephen Thompson next because that is going to be a fresh matchup that we haven't seen yet. So styles clash, rankings, it just makes sense to do that fight right now. He's beaten everyone else ranked above him. Stevens currently sits at number 5, and Kamaru's faced and beaten 1 through 4. So it makes sense from the ranking standpoint. Fresh matchup, highest ranked opponent he hadn't fought yet. Go ahead and do that. Person I want him to fight is Leon Edwards, but we know where that's going now due to inactivity. So unfortunately, we're not going to get that. But just thinking of the possibilities of that matchup between Stephen Thompson and Kamaru Usman, it's really intriguing just to see where that fight goes, because Stephen Thompson has the ability to obviously do a lot of unique things on the feet, and just to see how Kamaru deals with that with his improved striking, working under Trevor Whitman, and of course his constant threat of wrestling is also an interesting dynamic as well. So that's the fight that I want to see next.
Makes sense. And real quickly, let's say that Leon Edwards gets past Belal Muhammad on March 13th, comes out completely unscathed. Do you think he should jump the line then?
Jump the line, maybe. Depends. Yeah, it depends on how it goes.
Compared to Thompson, I guess. Like, would you rather see him against Thompson at that point?
If Leon Edwards goes out there and starches Belal Muhammad inside the first round and is like, hey, let's do it, Kamaru, right now, and like actually gets on there and gets people fired up, then I'm all about it, because it's still a month away, and that's still enough time for a lot of things to happen between Stephen and Kamaru if they decide to start chirping at each other on social media. So let Stephen Thompson, who's already significantly more a fan favorite, a bigger name by pretty much every metric than Leon Edwards right now, people are going to want to see that fight regardless of what happens between Leon and Belal.
Makes sense. Drake, what are you thinking for Kamaru next?
Yeah, I'm fairly similar in the line of thinking of Matt there. I absolutely love the Wonder Boy matchup just as a fight in general, seeing how that would play out. And I think that with all things considered now, I would like to see him, excuse me, against a one more person, ranked above him, get a win there, just because you look at the Luque and Neal wins, the winning streak he's riding, are lower, in terms of the rankings. So one more would really solidify his title shot. But at the moment, everybody's all kind of all over the place. So he is the guy next in line that I think would be just fine to get it. And how do you not want to see that one, right? If you're a true fight fan. But then again, I'm also in the line of thinking where Belal and Leon, that fight is coming up here. Why not give it to the winner? And I know that Muhammad probably isn't going to get it no matter how good he looks against Leon Edwards, but come on, let's go by some meritocracy for once, man. If he knocks off what is he, number 3 still? Is Leon still number 3? Knocks him off, 8-fight winning streak. Belal would get on, would that be 5 or 6 for him? It'd be another good winning streak and over a top-ranked guy. Like, why not? Let's get crazy. Belal, he's able to, he's a fan favorite on Twitter at least. Got some good jokes on Twitter. He's got a good following there. That's about it. But and he says some trash every now and then, or hypes things up when needed. It'd be a tough sell probably for most, depending on how it went. But and how
really selling this, just really selling this paper.
I know. But I'm just gonna say, the winner of that fight, I think, has a good case, very justifiable. Will it happen? Hard to tell. Of course, a lot better chance if Leon comes out of that one And I'm sure that he will definitely have a lot to say no matter how he wins that fight, especially if he wins it spectacularly. If he can finish Bilal, he's gonna say a lot to Kamaru, begging for that rematch probably. So really, I would say Wonder Boy is the guy right now where if you want to slot in Kamaru, start working on his next fight already, right at this moment. You want to negotiate today, start working with Wonder Boy. But at the same time, I never heard any updates on what the deal was with his knee, because remember, he was going in to have MRIs on his knee after the Neal fight. So I don't have any update on that. I don't know if you guys have heard anything, but if he's okay, good. If he's not, then, well, Wonder Boy might have to wait just because he's healing up, as he has had to do for, after some of these last recent fights, unfortunately for him. But if he's all good to go, get it done. If not, then even more case to wait for Bilal and Leon. But actually, I guess the right answer here is Hamzat Chimaev. So I'm going to end it with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's I was going to mention three fighters that should get it. Yeah, three fighters that should get it, and that was going to be one. But bravo, you took it. So well done there. But that being said, in terms of Wonder Boy's knee, I'm not 100% here, but I'm like 90-ish that it's fine, and he's actually okay, because he's also been calling out people. Right, he called out Masvidal. He called out Usman just recently when Usman was like, "Hey, like, who should I fight next?" And he on Twitter, he immediately responded. I think both of you are right in terms of, Leon or Bilal, the winner of that fight, or Thompson, make a lot of sense for Usman's next opponent, at least from a merit standpoint. From the business side, I think who is going to end up getting it is Masvidal. And I think the reason why is because although he hasn't done anything since he fought Usman and lost, he still has a fair amount of pull right now. It's fallen off a lot of, quite a bit from its high, especially with recent activity that he's done in the past several months, but he's still one of the biggest names and most recognizable names for casual fans, right? Something that I've talked about on the Fight Business podcast a little bit is, while we cover the sport and we follow these guys and see everything they're tweeting out, and we're like, oh, okay, they're digging a hole for themselves, they're losing followers, okay. There are a bunch of casual fans that see them once or twice and be like, man, that Masvidal guy's awesome, and then never think twice about seeing anything about him again, right? Or maybe see like a little tidbit here or there, don't really follow the same thing. So when Masvidal gets booked in another fight, they're like, oh, it's that guy that, finished Nate Diaz? Yeah, I want to watch that. It's still in the welterweight division. He still probably has the best pull of any active fighter, unless you count Conor McGregor moving up to welterweight. But other than that, really, in terms of a buy ratio and actual pull, it's Masvidal all day. So you do what they're talking about, getting Usman and Masvidal on Tough on the Ultimate Fighter, right? They're trying to work it out with welterweights. It's probably those two, who knows? But you end up doing that, and then you end up for the rematch, because there's no telling how long that star power will stay there. Masvidal has lost to Wonder Boy decisively. I think he would lose decisively to Leon Edwards. If he loses again to contenders, then you've kind of, lost a lot of your pull and your ability to get the title fight. It's the right business move. So even though I don't particularly want to see that fight, because I think it's going to go mostly the same way it did last time, pretty sure it's going to end up being Usman Masvidal, simply because it's what's best for business. Other than that, I think Wonder Boy makes the most sense, since Edwards and Muhammad are booked up. And if Edwards starches Bilal then and calls him out, and then the dates work rather than Wonder Boy, I'm all about Edwards getting his crack at Kamaru again, since that's the last person he's lost to at this point. So yeah, with that in mind, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber yet, and hit the bell button so you get notifications when we're dropping sweet videos like this. And let us know in the comments, who do you think that Kamaru Usman should fight next? Should it be Wonder Boy, Leon Edwards, Hamzat Chimaev, Masvidal? Let us know, right? To wrap this one up, boys, on a just a yes or no basis, no discussion. We'll get into this in a different video, so watch out for this video. But on a yes or no basis, do we think that Usman is going to become, how do I want to phrase this? Is Usman going to end up surpassing GSP as the greatest UFC welterweight of all time? Yes or no only? Matt.
No.
Yeah, well, okay, there's Drake. Drake, just jump in it. That's not your name. That's not your name, Drake. But fine, we know Drake's answer. Matt.
Yes.
Oh, can't wait for that video. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll drop it in time. So watch out for that one.